So in November of 2004, right out of St. Mary's Law School, I ended up taking a job at the Webb County District Attorney's Office. And the decision was a simple one, to come back home to the Laredo that we all know and love. And there were a bunch of other lawyers working there. And it was hard to find a lawyer that had enough callo y colmillo that I could go to ask, well, what do you recommend in this situation or that situation? And in those few lawyers to find that could provide not just good advice, but a good example was Nelly Vielma. And at that time, she was chief of the domestic violence court, and she was you would not find someone more passionate about, women who have been a victim of physical and sexual and abuse otherwise than Nelly Vielma. And among the defense bar, regularly, of the lawyers in that unit, the one that they all feared the most, because they knew what a fierce advocate she was Nelly Vielma. And Nelly took very, very, very serious her role as a public servant at that time. In her part-time, in her spare time, she was there to advocate for immigrants. And that's always been a passion of hers. And you can see her now in private practice taking that same level of passion to women and to women immigrants who have been subjected to some of the worst horrors that you could possibly imagine. She's been there tirelessly advocating for them. And her reputation speaks for itself. Her reputation is beyond reproach. You won't have people coming forward to question her integrity. And I can tell you right now, and my brother on council, and my brother otherwise, Charlie San Miguel, and I were visiting, and I said, Charlie, let's take a moment. Let's just take this moment right now, and I'm going to ask you all to take this moment with me, okay? I'm going to ask everybody just close your eyes for a second. Just close your eyes for a second. And if you could imagine on that dais, at the right hand of the mayor, instead of the status quo, you've got Nelly Vielma sitting right there to guide this city. Visualize that. And when you pray, I want you to hold that vision in your heart. And that's your prayer to God. That there's a steady hand at the right hand of the mayor, and that in between Charlie and the rest of us and the mayor, instead of the status quo, there's someone that loves their city. There's someone that's passionate about their city. There's someone who knows the potential of this community and who's willing to fight for it. Now, let's shift gears a little bit, okay? Let's talk about the status quo. The status quo right now is fighting for its life, okay? And let's be clear. And I appreciate, I can tell you right now, the support has been humbling. The support for me and my family has been humbling. But it's never been about me. It's still no longer about me. This is about a district's right to choose who is going to be its elected official. This is about freedom itself, okay? I know we all like to talk about all the freedom fighting abroad, but let me tell you, there is no more important freedom fighting than the freedom fighting that we do here at home in our own town of Laredo today. Okay? And that freedom fighting that I'm talking about is to go and rebuke the establishment. The establishment they've decided who's going to get elected in District 7, so they think, right? I won't, and I'm not going to, belabor you with all the lawsuit. I'm not going to belabor you with the write-in candidacy. But we've seen what they've done blow up in their faces in this last week. They've made this real bold patron move, right? Oh, no. we're going to disqualify him from the ballot. That's not their call. That's the province, the sacred province of the voter. Only the voter gets to make that call, not a handful of corrupt city bureaucrats and elected officials. They don't get to make that call, because this isn't China. This isn't Russia. This isn't, where the Communist Party gathers and they select for you who the leadership is going to be. This still remains the United States of America. This still remains, more importantly, Texas. And this still remains our beloved hometown of the city of Laredo. And not me, not necessarily even you, but your children and their children. They deserve better. And so make no mistake, the emperor has no clothes, okay? But even in spite of the fact that they're without clothes, they're fighting. And I remember distinctly a conversation once I had with Roque Vela about some of the mudslinging, and his response is, "Hey man, you're messing with my livelihood." And I thought to myself, well, certainly your bowling alley is your livelihood. City council is public service. I thought maybe, no, he was serious. City council is his livelihood, and these folks are fighting for their financial well-being. Because I can tell you right now, from our lips to God's ears, that if Nelly gets elected, and the good Lord allows District 7 to democratically elect the candidate of its choice, and the good Lord willing, the right person in District 4 gets elected, all of that upper management, all of those corners of tyranny at City Hall, they're gone. They're gone. Instead of the hiring and rehiring and the promoting of a bunch of political has-beens that have favors and favors and favors and political baggage from here to Cotulla, you're going to have a handful of technicians that will go in and get done at City Hall the business that needs to get done. And so, it's all great. We're all here. We're all gathered up in this great moment here to celebrate and encourage and pray for Nelly's perseverance through these very, very challenging times that lie ahead of her. And sitting in this audience and listening to my long-winded speeches and the ones that came before me, okay, that's fine and well. That's the easy part. Okay, that's the easy part. All right, next comes the hard part. Okay, because I can guarantee you, if everyone in this room sticks together and stands tall and every day checks in and goes and says, okay, what's on my homework assignment today, right? Where are we block walking today? Who do I need to call today? You know what? I've got some friends in your district. Let's all go and identify 5 people that live in District 5. Even if that's all you did, and you went and you made those phone calls, and you raised that money, and you walked those blocks, if all of you all continue to carry forward the same energy that you have today through the November election, Nelly will win. The tide has turned. It's without doubt that she will win, because their political maneuvering has blown up in their face. Okay, they as hard as this has been on me and my family, they have done us all a great favor by exposing themselves. And now we need to take it to the finish line. Nelly, I've known you for years. You're an exemplary human being. If I ever grow up as a lawyer, I hope I can be half the lawyer you are. And you have my support, and you have my prayers and that of my families. And it's one Laredo. It's not District 5. It's not District 7. We're all in this together. And we're counting on you all. Adelante Laredo, adelante Nelly.